So as you're watching this in 2025 and looking to scale your business, which I'm assuming you are if you're watching this video, otherwise, go and watch some Cocomelon or something, then there are three paths that you can take to do this, okay? And we're at a really interesting time in the world where tech is changing, the landscape is changing. We're going through, the industrial revolution of our time, which is the AI revolution, okay? So we're at a time now where things have never been the same. So there are three ways in which you can scale your business, and I'm going to walk you through what they are, what they look like, the considerations behind them. Should you use them? Are they relevant to you? Are they relevant to your business? If they are, if not, let's dive into the doc and I'll walk you through it. So the first one over here is what I'm going to call the sort of traditional way of scaling up a business. And again, this can still be relevant to you in 2025. It may not be, okay? So this is typically getting some sort of data provider like ZoomInfo or Apollo locked into very expensive yearly contracts, with ZoomInfo, and then leveraging Apollo as well. And then pulling out lists of data from this. So whether you've hired a RevOps person or whether you have an SDR manager or whether your team is doing it themselves, okay? And then feeding this information into a sales team. So hiring, 5 to 10 SDRs, maybe fresh out of college, costing, $60,000 to $80,000 per year. Then when you add commission on top, pushing 100K, okay? On top of that, paying for all of their tech. So again, leveraging these legacy tools like SalesLoft, Outreach. Maybe you're, using other tools like that, but these are the two that I'm seeing the most in the market. Once again, locking into expensive multi-year contracts where you have to pay per seat for your team, and as you scale your headcount, your tech costs soar up. Okay, so you're experiencing a big inflation in terms of what you're experiencing in terms of your costs. Okay, so this is a very expensive way to do this. Okay, so if you've just raised money or you're bootstrapping a business, then this is a very expensive way to do this. We're seeing this mainly with sort of enterprise teams that have maybe 1,000 target accounts that they can go after, but deal sizes that are in the millions, then maybe something like this would work for them. Okay, but if you're a smaller business or you are a growing business, then this is a legacy system that I don't believe will work for you. And the evidence I have for that is the hundreds of sales calls that we have generated this year from businesses that are leveraging this system or are in the process of building this system out because that's what they think they should do based on the teachings that they have. And they are seeing a huge decline in the drop of deliverability of emails. They're seeing really poor connect rates, and they're seeing general poor results from their team. So whether that is a human talent issue, they're not getting the correct people in, maybe just fresh out of college, people don't care, or if you hire 10 people, how many of those people are going to be great? Probably not a lot of them. And that's typically how the SDR hiring model worked previously. You hire a whole bunch of people and maybe 2 out of 10 are good. And that means all of that money that you've wasted on training them up, that time, that effort, it's just so much work, okay? And if they're not generating the results that you want them to generate, again, that's just money down the drain. And alongside that as well, locking in with these legacy tools, which I don't think are necessarily set up in the best way to serve you in 2025. What I mean by that is data quality. ZoomInfo has, some good data, some, very proprietary data as well, but again, very hard to access and very expensive. We don't use Apollo for anything anymore. We're just not the biggest fans of it, okay? And then using tools like SalesLoft and Outreach, again, if you're doing multi-step, multi-channel, sequential, enterprise level outreach, then I think, yeah, these tools, they have their place. But if you're not, then these tools are overkill, they're expensive, and they'll probably actually damage the results that you're getting, okay? So this is step one. I don't recommend it for growing teams, for teams that have raised revenue, that have raised capital, are looking to generate results really quickly. Now, the second one over here is AI, okay? So you might be surprised to see this in here. The reason that I'm including AI in here is because I am seeing people lean into AI way too much, Okay, people are becoming way too over dependent on AI, and it is going to be incredibly detrimental to them in the coming years. Okay, so this is not just from a personal standpoint of their, their own cognitive ability, but also within their business as well. AI generated emails, AI generated phone, AI generated LinkedIn, AI generated content. It might be getting some traction now, but my hypothesis and my prediction is that we're going to see a big reversal in terms of what people are responding really well to. In fact, we're already kind of seeing that a little bit at the moment. If you've noticed, there's a lot of trend out there at the moment that's coming out with people making comedy skits around, AI and robots and the abuse that they're going to experience in the future because they're not human and because they've stolen human jobs. We're seeing this now. That's coming out of the fringes of society. That'll be mainstream in a couple of years' time. So if you're basing your entire sales growth on AI focused tools and AI focused outreach, then honestly, I think maybe you'll get some traction now, but I don't think this is a long-term plan for your business, and I'm warning against that. That's my own personal opinion. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. I'd love to know your opinions in the comments as well. Now, the third step here is the human-related step. Okay, so it's human outreach, but without the headache of you building that team yourself. Okay, so what we've been doing for a number of clients over the past few months is doubling down on human-led outreach. For years, we have been an automated outbound company, sending cold emails, LinkedIn, layering in some cold calls in there as well, which again, it's not automated, but most of the bread and butter of what we've done has been automated. And ourselves and a bunch of our peers have seen the effectiveness of this drop and drop and drop. So in a way to combat that, we are thinking, how do we then zig when everyone's zagging? And the way that we do that is by leveraging extremely talented, trained SDRs, okay? Putting them into a dial pod together so that they have competition against each other to generate results. It's not just one of them where they can come up with excuses, oh, the rain was this, or my internet blew up, or whatever, okay? If you're second person the dial pod is beating you, you're going to want to beat them back. Okay, so it creates this beautiful competition, generating 4,000 dials per month. Okay, this is booking 10 to 20 qualified meetings per month, and then letting us handle all of the tech, all of the training, all of the recruitment, all of the ramping, all of the enablement, all of the list building. So all of the headache that comes with hiring these people. Okay, and then again, letting us bring on the best talent in the market in the USA and the UK. They're not somewhere, in a third world country where they don't have the accent that is ideal for reaching out into Western countries. These are UK or US SDRs, okay? And again, making a guaranteed 4,000 dials per month, which is generating 10 to 20 qualified meetings with your target accounts every month. And then not having to focus on all of the headache that comes around it, okay? So you're not paying recruiting fees, which are incredibly expensive, by the way. And imagine you pay recruiting fees for someone who turns out to be a flop for your business. Crazy. If one of our SDRs are not performing well, we simply cut them and we bring someone else in. There is a lot of hungry people out there right now that want to work, and we are giving them the opportunity to do that and generate a great income from that as well. And then again, you don't need to hire an SDR manager because we're handling that internally ourselves. We're handling all the results, handling all the training, all the enablement. We're building out all the lists, generating all the data, so you don't need to have expensive subscriptions to Zoom Info or Apollo. You don't need to manage that team. You don't need to bring on managers and have performance reviews and all of that. We handle all of that for you. And the beautiful thing about it is that we can deploy this within a business within 10 days. So the systems that we've built out, the operations that we've built out around this are so tuned in that we can deploy 2 of these people in a dialing pod, 2 of these trained SDRs in less than 10 days, okay? You go out to the market right now and try and hire an SDR in less than 10 days. I mean, good luck to you, okay? All the interviews, the training, the tech, the money that you're gonna have to spend posting those jobs on LinkedIn, or you're gonna have to post it on Indeed or paying recruiting fees. It's incredibly expensive. And if you're in a high intensity environment, which most startups are now because they're battling against AI and finding ways to battle in this incredibly competitive market, then you do not have time to hire, and you don't have time to go out and source these people yourself. So we'll install them in your business in 10 days or less, get them dialing, start to book 10 to 20 qualified meetings per month for your account executives or your executive level sales team to go ahead and take. If you're interested in finding out how we're going to do that, then book in a call using the first link in the bio, where I'll explain everything. It's super transparent. It's a flat fee every single month. But if you're curious more about pricing, then again, book a call in and we can have a chat. Cheers.